Hi, I'm Malcolm.
And I'm Rachel. We're two Canadians living on our 39-foot mainship trawler, living an adventure of a lifetime. We invite you to follow along as we travel 6,000 miles through Canadian and U.S. waterways around America's Great Loop. One of the things that Malcolm was working on when we were at Green Turtle was to redo our anchor locker hatch right there. It's at the front of the boat, and you can see it there. It's not very big, but when we had our survey done on the boat, it was the only thing that showed some water in there, some dampness. So he took it apart, took out all the core, and replaced it, and it's as good as new now and very dry. I'll let him tell you about it.
So this is the anchor locker. What they found was that the core was saturated, so it was just fully full of water. So what we needed to do was we needed to take it off. So we had to remove the door. Once the door was removed, then we had to cut basically this out, peel the back of the fiberglass out, take the core out, and then replace it with this core, which is a sealed foam core. I think it's got fiberglass on both sides of it, so it's very stiff, but very light. And then what you do with that is you glue it with fiberglass, so a thickened fiberglass, you glue it in, and then once it's glued in, you glue the piece of fiberglass you cut out, so you glue that on, and then you seal it all around the edges, and what you end up with is a very firm, rigid piece of fiberglass that you can stand on, and that is better, I would say, than the original, because there's no more wood in the core there, which will absorb water. It's all this sealed foam core, which is stronger than anything else. So it's a bulletproof piece of the boat, and I think a good improvement, because it's one of those things that was just nagging at me. I just wanted to get done.
Been at Donny's Marina near New Plymouth on Green Turtle Cay for about a week, and we are preparing to leave. We waited till the afternoon because the tide was really low this morning, and it's just coming up now, probably enough for us to get out of Black Sound, and we're heading over to a new island. Hope you're having a great day. across the bar to go outside to deeper water as we head out of the shallow area of the Bahamas shelf, I guess it's called. Anyway, it's pretty rocky rolly right now. We're having some big swell and some waves from one other direction. So it's pretty hard to walk around the boat. I'm trying to get some images, but I also don't want to fall over. So I'll show you what I can. Hi there. We're headed to Guana Cay today. It's not a very long trip, about 2 hours. And we're having to cross the bar and to go into deeper water. So we're hitting some much bigger swells, which is what we were expecting on our last trip. But they're quite far apart, like maybe 12 seconds apart. So we're going up and down, but there's also some waves. So we're having some rocking and rolling today, but so far it's okay. And we just have to get around Whale Key and then get back inside again. How are you finding the trip today?
Fine. A little,
Need to pay attention.
it's a little nerve-wracking.
Yeah.
You said boating is always pleasurable. So it's always nerve-wracking when you're doing something new. This is probably, well, let's hope, this is one of the more potentially dangerous things we're doing, only because we're crossing the bar actually right now. So we're crossing this bar where if you have bad weather and bad waves, the ocean is breaking on this bar.
That's 30 feet deep now.
Yep, and so I think we're through it, and now we're going to be, very shortly, we're going to be turning to the starboard, and then we'll be heading into, in the direction of our next marina. So we're jumping from marinas here only because we really don't know where the really good anchorages are. So we're hoping to spend a bit of time in this marina looking at some anchorages and then getting the anchors set a few more times rather than being in marinas.
And this trip that we're doing today gets us to the sort of second area of the Abacos Islands. So there's lots of snorkeling and other anchorages there, so you can't really get there any other way. So
no, you can't.
Yeah.
So we're this is the only bar we're going to cross in the Bahamas. We're going to cross it twice, crossing it now, and we're going to cross it once when we leave.
When we come back, yeah.
So we it's good to get this sort of experience so that we'll know what weather to look for when we come back the other way.
That's true.
So far, it's looking pretty good. We are with 2 other boats, and they've already gone through. The waves are actually calming down a little bit. Cross my fingers.
Yeah, they are.
And then when we do our turn to starboard, we'll be cutting right across. So we'll see. We'll see. It's a new experience for us, as many things are.
Behind me is called Great Guana Cay, and that's where we're headed today. The first part of the island looks like there's some homes and things there. There's also a luxury yacht marina, which is private, called Baker's Yacht Club, I guess. I have to look up the name of that. We saw a big yacht come out of there just recently. And then farther along is Orchid Yacht Club, where we're going to go. It's open to the public. You can see where the water depth changes. You can see how it's dark blue where it's very deep, and then that sort of turquoise color where there's a sandy bottom that's shallow. into shallower water again. It's about 17 feet deep here. We can see the bottom. Nice turquoise color again with the sand. And a few boats zipping around, but it is a lot wavier here than it was where we came from. Once we get into the marina and the bay, it'll be a lot more protected. Approaching Orchid Marina now, and I'll have to go out and get some lines ready. Not sure exactly what to expect, but when we're using these docks with pylons, it's better not to have fenders out because they get tangled up around them, and we set those later after we've docked. But basically you go in and tie up and then set your fenders afterwards. And of course it depends on the tides. Go up and down a lot with tides. So let's go see what Orchid Marina looks like. We've arrived at Orchid Marina here on Great Guana Cay, I think it's called. And it was a really interesting ride here. We had to go outside of Whale Cay, which meant it was very choppy, but it was only for about 2 hours. We went just over 14 nautical miles, took us about the 2 hours. So we're here, we've just washed down the boat again and plugged in, and we're settled in for the night.